Fans of anime and manga often enjoy anime online games as a way to immerse themselves in their favorite worlds and characters, and to interact with other fans from around the world. Dragon Nest. If the main criterion for you when choosing a game is fun and kawaii, then you may not notice any minuses in Dragon Nest. The combat is especially good. Those who are used to standing still and methodically pressing the right buttons are in danger of death and very fast. The choice of class depends only on how much you have to strain and how quickly you rush across the battlefield. For those for whom the gender of the character is a matter of fundamental importance, disappointment may await. Each class is tied to a gender. For example, men who love to throw lightning, like Zeus the Thunderer, in the world of Dragon Nest will have to transform into a pretty girl, and girls who want to master the noble art of healing will have to try on a male image. However, due to the general grace and brightness, hardly anything here can be taken too seriously. MapleStory is a fun and fast-paced 2D MMORPG released in 2003. Here, characters of different classes travel and seek adventure on their pretty big-eyed heads. Even killing bosses and massacring monsters looks childishly cute. The tasks before the player are simple and clear. You need to swing, complete the usual quests, and destroy hostile mobs. The interface is also simple and intuitive. The players have plenty of opportunities to interact with each other. There is a chat, group tasks, guilds, trade. Of course, without PvP2 cannot do. However, in MapleStory, you can not only beat each other, but also love. If you suddenly ignite tender feelings for another character, you can make a marriage proposal. And all this is completely free. Twin Saga is an online anime game from the creators of Aura Kingdom. The graphics here are very juicy and very cartoony. It seems that everyone in the world is smiling and friendly. But in fact, the action is present in large quantities. There are 9 classes in the game, and all of them are initially available. So you don't have to download a bunch of individual characters, just switch at the right time. In general, the usual problems with finding a healer or a tank do not arise. In addition to fighting, you can devote yourself to peaceful activities, such as fishing, exploring the world, pumping a profession, or arranging your home, which you can drag everywhere with you thanks to the presence of wheels or a huge turtle instead of a foundation. Mabinogi is an MMORPG created by Nexon and released in 2008. You have to explore the world of Erin, full of different interesting things. There are no classes in the game, so what abilities a character will have is not a foregone conclusion. Unlike most similar projects, the character in Mabinogi ages over time, so it needs to be periodically rejuvenated. The NPCs in the game don't just hand out quests right and left. Their speeches are often instructive and appeal to the best human qualities. Your answers in the dialogues determine how much they will trust you. You won't be able to get into the Inst just like that. You will have to make a sacrifice in the form of an item of equipment. The cooler it is, the more difficult the Inst will let you in. Combat is far from the only interesting activity. The choice of peaceful affairs is huge. If you want, milk the cows and shear the sheep. If you want, get a fishing rod and go meditate by the pond. And if you are drawn to art, you can play music. Tale is a kind and bright anime MMORPG platformer from Actos Soft, released in 2008. At the beginning, as expected, you're offered to create a character, but the set of settings is rather limited. Classes are quite enough, as many as 7 pieces. The specifics of each of them will be extremely clear to anyone who is at least somewhat familiar with the genre. The essence of the game is a hopeless grind, quests, and the purchase of new clothes. However, grind games have enough fans, especially when the level of cuteness goes off-scale even with murders. Quests are monotonous and sound something like, kill so many of those guys. But there are tasks like tear off their tails and bring them to me, which is much more difficult, because not every monster will let you tear off your tail even posthumously. Attack on Titan 2 is an action game based on the popular anime of the same name. You can play both in single-player mode and with friends in co-op and multiplayer. The player, as in the series, will be behind the deaf, high walls that protect people from carnivorous titans. The survivors have created various military units, whose members are able to resist the giant monsters. The role of one of these soldiers is assigned to the gamer. The player will have to fight the titans using various heroes. As in the anime, the battles are quite spectacular due to the flying mechanisms used by the characters. Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullet. Role-playing action based on Master of the Sword Online. In this project, there is no plot canonical for manga and anime. Instead, players will go to the world of Gun Gale Online, where they will have to fight various monsters on the ruins of modern civilization. In combat, you can use both melee weapons and firearms, sniper rifles, grenade launchers, and so on. Code Vein. Action like Dark Souls, but with anime style. The player will take the role of an immortal vampire and find himself in a modern world that has survived the apocalypse. He will have to fight monsters like a hero, upgrade his skills, look for new weapons, and go through story missions. You can travel alone or with a friend in co-op. Granblue Phantasy Versus, a 2D fighting game based on the RPG Granblue Phantasy. As befits the genre, the player is invited to choose a character and challenge other heroes to a duel. Fights are accompanied by bright special effects, and there can be several opponents. Rich settings and many skills will allow the gamer to create his own style of combat, whether it's auto combos, complex combinations, or simple attacks. VRChat. This is a virtual chat designed for people to get together in a virtual world, communicate, and look for entertainment. Although the game is not tailored for the style in question, we included it anyway because on every corner in it you will see people who take avatars with anime characters. Little and not so cute girls and manga characters are frequent guests here. The anime game Eternal Return mixes the battle royale genre with survival and MOBA elements. From the first, the game got a competitive PvP mode for 18 players. From the second, the search for resources, the creation of equipment and consumables, and from the third, an isometric view, pumped abilities, and combat mechanics. The action takes place on a city map lined with several sectors, each of which contains unique regions for crafting, and players fight not only with each other. The zone is inhabited by monsters and their strength is gradually growing. Phantasy Star Online 2, MMORPG from Saga in which players travel through several realms, clearing them of darkspawn. The game is distinguished by an unusual universe in which there was a place for both sharp-eared inhabitants and high technology, as well as a combat system atypical for the genre, like the one found in classic animated slashers. The game has 4 races and several unique classes. Everything of value, including cosmetic items, can be earned by grinding. In 2020, PSO2 opened free servers to the whole world and finally received an official English localization. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, a classic TG tailored for fast PvP matches. The game is based on the popular manga, and its anime adaptation Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans of the title are waiting for their favorite characters and creatures and beginners, intuitive controls, and easy-to-learn rules. There is also a full-fledged campaign in Duel Links, during which duelists will assemble a powerful deck and master the mechanics of the game. The project is localized into Russian and available for free on Steam. Genshin Impact, an ambitious anime RPG by MiHoYo designed for cross-platform play on mobile and desktop devices. The game lets adventurers into an open and surprisingly beautiful fantasy world filled with magical creatures, interesting stories, and memorable characters. The monotony of the grind will brighten up the combat system with the ability to use up to 4 characters in battle, and regular events with valuable prizes will not let you get bored. If you have patience, new heroes can be obtained without making fabulous sums into the game. Swords of Legends Online, Chinese animated MMORPG based on the tale of the ancient sword. An amazingly beautiful game, available in China for 5 years, finally enters the Western market, accompanied by Gameforge. Players are waiting for classic PvP and PvE activities, group dungeons, locations, characters, and stories with Oriental flavor. The game will be distributed on a one-time purchase model. Blue Protocol, animated online action RPG by Bandai Namco, based on a brand new fantasy title with richly colored world and dynamic combat system. There is not much information about the project yet. It is known that at the start of the game, there will be at least 4 unique classes: the classic Vanguard Warrior, a fighter with dual weapons, an archer, and a wizard. Perhaps players are waiting for battle pets and instance locations with one large central hub. If your favorite game is not included in this list, write in the comments. Thanks for watching. Join this channel to get access to perks. Subscribe, watch our other videos, press thumbs up, turn on notifications, and you will always be aware of what to play today.